He was falling back on his throws a little bit. Yeah, he wasn't following through and getting in line like he normally does. So that's something that we can fix that. So we'll just move forward. He had a good practice Sunday night, and we'll move forward and get it corrected.
What else did you notice that you maybe didn't notice right after the game Thursday?
Um, we ran the ball. We blocked really well. We ran the ball well. Watched the tape, and the defense flew around and had great pursuit and tackled really good. Especially the fourth quarter, didn't give up a third down conversion, and that's the way you want to win games. If you can win a game in 4-minute offense, everybody always talks about 4-minute offense. 4-minute offense. We got the ball with 4:15 and never gave it back, so that's a really good thing. We were 8 for 22 and easily could have been 19 for 22. So that's just something that we got to get corrected.
How do you kind of improve the run defense? I know it was better in the fourth quarter, but you're going to face probably a better running back this Saturday.
Yeah, we're going to face some really good players this Saturday, so that's just something that we got to continue to work on. I thought sometimes it's just a guy not having his gap, and they just got to make sure they all do their own job. And once we started doing that, then we played a lot better. Instead of trying to do somebody else's job, they end up leaving your gap open.
I think UW just slipped up to number 8 in the AP polls. You've seen a lot of top 10 teams in your time. Do they kind of fit that mold, look like a top 10 team, really?
Yeah, they do. They're really fast. They got, when you got two playmakers like that as your punt returner and kickoff returner, that always gives you a chance to play with anybody. Defensively, they're going to get up and press you and get in your face and make everything contested. And their linebackers really run well and get to the ball, and they got the two giant guys inside. So they kind of have, all the ingredients you kind of need to have a good football team. They got fast receivers, good quarterback, good running back, do a good job up front, the O-line. And then the two guys in special teams make them tough there. And then defensively, they're good at all three levels. They got the big guys in the middle, they got the linebackers that can run, and they got a good secondary.
This or having a guy like Austin really comes in handy. He just has that hang time that doesn't really let a punt returner return something, and he can kick through the end zone too.
Yeah, that helps. He needs to have a great day. He needs to make sure, ideally, we'd like them to have no returns. So that would be the best scenario.
When you face a team like this that is obviously more skilled, more talented than your guys, is this a game where you kind of know that you have to kind of muck it up a little bit to really have a legitimate chance to pull an upset? I mean, do you talk to the guys about that? Try to do a couple of different things and.
Yeah, I don't think you ever tell them that there's no question the other team's way more talented than them. But we know it's a game where you got to go. You saw last weekend, anything can happen. You got to go out there and play your hearts off, and you got to make tough, contested plays offensively, defensively. You got to tackle really well. And really in a game like this, I think the most important thing is stay in the game till the fourth quarter. And if you do that, then you always give yourself a chance to win.
As he mentioned, Washington will have the number 8 in front of them on the scoreboard on Saturday. Do the guys kind of relish an opportunity like this? I mean, they probably do, even without the ranking, but even more so to be able to play a top 10 team.
Yeah, I think so. I think anytime you can go play one of the teams that's supposed to be one of the best teams in the country and a great atmosphere at a really beautiful stadium, I think it gets everybody excited. We got a lot of kids, from the state of Washington, so that definitely gets them excited, and a lot of kids from California that are playing against guys they grew up playing against. So it'll make it a lot of fun, and we just got to go out there and play one play at a time, the best we've played yet.
You think there's more energy there for some guys who maybe grew up wanting to play for the Huskies and that was their ultimate goal? They were fans of them possibly, and now they get a chance to beat them because they maybe didn't get recruited like they thought they would have?
Possibly. That possibly could be it. A lot of those things motivate you, but I think once you get on the game and the game starts, then it really just comes down to how much fight you have inside of you and how much heart. I don't know if any of that helps you once the game starts, but it helps you in preparation leading up to the game. So I think that can help you a lot.
Kevin Shelton's one of those Seattle guys who's going to be going home this weekend. He was part of your first class. Were you pretty involved in his recruitment?
Yeah, quite a bit. Coach Anderson helped recruit a lot of those guys that first class. It was kind of Coach Anderson, myself, and then Coach Al, helped recruit them. But it was. I remember going into the home. I remember recruiting him. So it'll be fun for him to go home and play against the school his brother played at, and back in his hometown. It'll be really nice for him.
Did you kind of see him as a versatile guy who maybe would
Yeah, that's kind of what you thought. You weren't sure how big he was going to get. I always thought no matter what, he'd be a good fullback. And that's something where I kind of tried to talk him into playing, but he wanted to play on defense. But we did play him there for a while, and it's just been great to have him here, and hopefully he can go there and have the best game he's had yet at home.
How has he really blossomed into a new defensive end position?
I think it's been good for him. I think he's really worked hard, gotten stronger, gotten faster, and I think Kenny's done a really good job with him in the D-line, and he's improved his technique a lot, and he's going to have a really good senior year for us.
Obviously, Sun Belt Conference play is a month away, but when you look at week 1, you got Appalachian State should have won a football game. South Alabama goes on the road, wins a football game in SEC territory. You guys are 1-0. Is this strength of conference, is it getting better, do you think?
It's a good conference. There's a bunch of teams with a lot of talent, and really neither one of those things surprised me at all. And Appalachian State, played awesome and probably should have won the game. South Alabama's a very, very talented team, and it didn't surprise me at all. Them beat Mississippi State. So there's a bunch of good teams in the league, and that's what makes it fun week in and week out. You're always going to play a team that's very talented.
Washington's a team that's potentially in the mix for a college football playoff appearance. What's it like to, have a chance to spoil that?
That'd be nice. That'd be something that that's guys could have that in their back pocket for the rest of their life. So that's something that they're going to go up there and be very excited and very ready to play. And I think we'll have a great week of practice. And we started out with that way Sunday night. Got to have great practice today and get ready to go.
The Auburn game from last year is a game you guys took some positives from and scored more points than people probably expected. What other positives were there from that game? Do you want to try to replicate some of those things in this game?
No question. I think the Auburn game really helped our guys' confidence. I think we came off that field that day and everybody was a lot more confident in themselves and each other and their teammates, and kind of carried over into our next win, at Texas State. We really won both games since that game. So I think that's something, if we can go out and just play one play at a time as hard as you can and compete your tail off, then good things will happen. And if that can happen, then that'll really be a positive for the rest of the year.
I know that UW defense doesn't have many holes, but are there a few areas you think you can exploit with your pass game or the run game that
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to come down to execution. They're very well coached. They know exactly what they're trying to do, and they're not going to give you anything easy. So, there's some games where you can get by formation and different things where you can get yourself some easy plays, but they're going to make you work for everything. So it's really going to come down to execution, and we're going to have to just do a really good job of defeating man and throwing the ball and catching the ball.
In the past, you play at North Texas, you play at USC, Auburn, Florida. Now you get a chance to get a couple of regional rivalries here. You probably wouldn't call them rivalries, but regional games. Is that something a little special for the fans? That easier for them to travel and maybe see a little more gold and black?
Yeah, I think that'll make it nice. I think everybody can drive up to the game, and I think we got a lot of alumni that live in Seattle, so we'll have a lot of guys that former players here, former students here. So there'll be a lot. I think we'll have a really good crowd up there of Vandal supporters, and that'll make it real nice.
I know you've been caught up with the day-to-day stuff here, but have you? I'm sure you've heard of Elijah Penny, his last game. What did you kind of think of that and making the roster down there?
I thought it was awesome. I texted him on Saturday and just told him I was proud of him. Congratulations. And he's kind of stayed in touch a lot. He really appreciates everything that we did for each other. That the university did for him and that he did for the university. So he's very proud to be a Vandal, and we're very proud of him.